this week I've got my first ever guest on the Nicola Graham Podcast, which I'm very excited about. I'm going to let her introduce herself actually. A woman who I just admire so much. And we're going to be talking all things women's health and wellness, and she really embodies that. So welcome to the podcast, Becky Jones.
Thanks, Nick. First of all, it's a pleasure to be the first ever guest.
I know.
I feel honoured.
I'm excited.
And yeah, I am Becky. I am a yoga instructor. Crazy passionate about getting people to move their bodies. I think it's good for for mentally as well as physically. And yeah, can't wait to get chatting.
I'm excited to have someone to chat to this week, Beck, because normally I'm sat here just talking at the camera, and then afterwards I think of all of the things that I should have said.
Yeah.
And I overthink. I'm an overthinker. So just to give context to anybody listening, so, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this. So I first met Beck, well, we didn't meet each other. You were working in a bar.
Yeah.
Near to where I live. And you know when you just recognise someone, and then all of a sudden the Oxygen Wellness Centre opened, which Becky is the owner of the Oxygen Wellness Centre. And I was like, oh, that's the girl I know. And then obviously it turned out to be you. And then I started going to your yoga sessions. Oxygen Wellness Centre could not have opened at a better time, because, you know, when you just need a place to go.
Time out.
Yeah. There isn't like a million miles away. It's just that vibe, isn't it, Beck? It's just that vibe. Like, I went to one of the moon events. Yeah. I went to say Moonlight then. And honestly, it was the most gorgeous night. And there was only, I think there was 7 of us. And the differing women, like, but we're all connected.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I love that. We were like, I was chatting to some woman, and she had grandchildren. She was telling me about her children, things she was going through, and she was telling the group. And I just left, just feeling like really, just calm and chill. And I thought, yeah, this is me and Beck have got like a shared passion for women's health, haven't we, and wellness and community and lifting each other up and taking care of ourselves. So I'd love to talk to you all about that today. So then I just started going to yoga, and then you've done some of my client events, haven't you?
Yeah.
I'm trying to encourage all of my clients to do yoga, which is another reason why we've got Beck here, because this is something that I advocate to everyone. Like, honestly, it's a form of self-care, isn't it? Like
100%.
Slowing down, easing tension in our body. Like, I think especially
one of the
nowadays,
biggest,
more than ever.
Yeah, one of the biggest challenges nowadays is to slow down.
I struggle to do that.
We live in such a fast-paced world that, you know, it's hard to just sit there and slow down the mind and slow down the body, and it doesn't come naturally. You know, it takes a few goes to get to it, but it's just super important.
Even to slow down the movement, though. Like, so I will say to clients, okay, so I want you, they'll send me a video of like doing a certain exercise, and I'll go, perfect, but you need to slow it down.
Yeah.
And it's like, but we want everything quick, in, out now. Yeah. So like when I go to yoga, I can't have your phone on. It just forces me to do everything. Like, I will do stretches in your sessions that I do on my own, but I don't feel them when I do them on my own in the way that I feel them in yoga, because I'm not really holding them for long enough, and I'm not breathing through them, and you know, it's just different, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, I'm fast tracking. I would love to intro this. I would love to give our listeners a little bit more insight into who you are. I'd love to know a little bit, and I don't even know this, so I'm interested.
Okay.
I know snippets of your like background and backstory, and I think this is another reason why I just think you're great.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
A bit of background.
So it all started with yoga for me, and I started yoga, I think it was just before COVID. So I was in hospitality, been in there for 10 years, obviously. That can be a very stressful environment, very unsociable hours, on your feet all day, every day, carrying, you know, heavy plates, trays, drinks, everything. And that was just my sort of lifestyle. You know, in between that, I did seasons abroad. And on my last year in hospitality, my auntie became really ill. And then my grandma became really ill. So we lost those two in the space of a couple of months. And to me, that was like, why am I doing this job? You know, I was going, it was such a hard time. I was going to work and pretending I was okay, happy to the customers, happy to the staff. I was manager there, so I had to like keep a smile on my face. And realistically, my world was like falling apart.
Yeah.
And then, so I left, I decided to leave, and I started doing my hair accessories. That really helped me deal with that time when my auntie was ill, because I was getting creative. You know, it was unsociable hours, so my mum and sister were at work and I was at home just, you know, thinking about how poorly my auntie was and, you know, watching this journey that she was going through. And then I just decided to like order some bits from YouTube, from Amazon, and started making hair accessories, and that really helped me mentally, like really helped me. Instead of sort of sitting at home on my own in the daytime, you know, just on the sofa, moping around, scrolling, getting upset, I'd be at like, I created like a little office and I'd be there making. So then, you know, a couple of months passed, I decided to leave hospitality. Like I just couldn't do it. It just, I was so stressed with my family members being ill. It just, I wasn't eating. I remember taking into work like the tiniest piece of chicken, like a sprig of broccoli, and the chef being like, you can't just eat that, you work in 10 hours. I was like the smallest I'd been since school. I just let stress take over. Like I was just living in my fight and flight.
So why did you take the chicken and broccoli? And I'm intrigued by this.
Because that...
No appetite? Or?
No appetite, no. Stress just literally took over me. I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't eating. I wasn't, you know, even thinking straight. I was just living fight and flight. I was just getting through every day. That's, you know, all I was doing. So then I left hospitality and started doing my hair accessories, and then COVID hit. And then I was like, okay, I've gone from such a social job, being surrounded by people, to sitting at home with my sewing machine, you know.
Yeah, big difference.
Yeah, what am I going to do? And then that's when I started doing yoga. So between that time, my auntie and my grandma both passed away. Then COVID hit, and then I split up with my ex. So I was essentially in lockdown grieving, you know, 3 losses. But it's the first time that me and my sister dealt with death as an adult. We lost my dad when I was 4. So I think we started to grieve that loss as well.
Yeah, and do you know what? So I knew you'd lost your dad. Because I've seen you like allude to it online. I didn't realise you were only 4.
Yeah. So, you know, it all just sort of like hit me at once. And I would say like it was the lowest part of my life. Like I couldn't crack a smile. I couldn't, you know, laugh. I couldn't pull myself together. I just was like, something needs to change. Like I can't sort of go on like this. And then luckily we were in COVID, and because I'd had such a shit year before, I was like, you know, COVID is going to be a breeze for me. Like I'm not, you know, it's going to be...
Love that perspective. Luckily.
I've been through, you know, a really bad time. Now, you know, it's time to sort of work on me. And my friend had just passed her yoga teacher training, so she just started teaching online. And obviously in COVID, we had the time. You know, I was doing her online classes 3 times a week.
Oh, okay. So that's when you trained up to be an instructor?
Well, that's when I started yoga. My friend had just passed her training, and then COVID hit, so she was just teaching online. So obviously I had the time. I was giving myself that time to do the classes. I started, you know, ordering books on like human behaviour. Like, you know, people call them self-help books, but they've taught me so much. They've taught me how to deal with grief, how to gain confidence. Like I literally must have about 30 books, and that's like, you know, a 4-year course at uni that I've just kind of gone through.
Do you know what, though, Beck? Like, so listening to you talk now, and you might not even recognise this, or you might. How strong of a person you must be to have done that, though, because it takes strength to be in that position and say, do you know what, I'm gonna use this to my advantage to make a change for a more positive outcome, versus I'm just gonna have a victim mentality and just, you know, write myself off and just carry on. Because a lot of women feel that they don't have a choice.
I did live in that victim mentality for, you know, a couple of months, maybe up to a year. I don't know the exact sort of time scale, but it came to a point where I couldn't even look in the mirror. Like I just hated myself. Like I just didn't, want to go out and see anyone. And it was just like, and there was a few like sort of moments that like, there was a little switch.
Little penny drops, yeah.
Yeah, and that's when I just started like building myself back up. And yoga just has taught me so much about myself. Like it's just, I've noticed that inner dialogue. Everyone has that inner dialogue.
Yeah.
Some people aren't aware of how they speak to themselves and, how negative the comments are about themselves. And that was me. And, I've managed to turn that around now. And, through yoga, I start to notice that inner dialogue. It's, taught me to sort of, how to gain my confidence. I think because I lost my dad so young, I was always my mum's little shadow growing up.
Yeah.
I presume I might have been scared of losing her. And I just never had any confidence. In hospitality, I was confident. As soon as I stepped out of the job, I was like, crumbled.
Yeah.
And, again, yoga has just taught me to find that confidence.
It's so interesting what you've just said, because I'm a massive believer that awareness it's crucial.
Yeah.
It's crucial to your success. And a lot of people are walking around unaware of the inner dialogue, whatever it might be. But it drives everything, because once you are aware, you're then consciously choosing to be one way or the other, is what I would say. And I think, it's because when you're talking about this inner dialogue, so I would reference that as like mindset almost. And it's like, it's interesting because it doesn't matter who you talk to, in what field, even if it's not health and fitness. The mindset is it's such a critical part, but it's not the shiny, tangible. It's the inner work. You've got to do it. You've got to do it in your downtime. You've got to read the book.
100%.
You've got to, and it's like, not everyone's willing to do that. But it will change your life.
100%. Like it has changed my life completely. And like you said about awareness, I think yoga is awareness. It's awareness of the breath. It's awareness of the body. It's awareness of the mind. And then what you learn in the studio, in your yoga classes or online or wherever, you then take that awareness outside. And that's where, those life choices are being made, because you have the awareness. So when you come to maybe ordering your food, you take that healthier option because you're aware of how it's going to feel if you eat, Chinese takeaway. Do you know, it is awareness.
The awareness for me in yoga classes is always, well, sometimes it's how maybe tight I've been, but just the central nervous system. Like, I don't consider myself to be stressed, but I obviously am heightened quite a lot of the time, because then when I come out of a yoga, I think anyone listening to this will relate. You realise, wow, my central nervous system needed to be calmed down. Like, we're not built to be like on 24/7, are we? But I think a lot of the time we just feel like, but I can wing it. You know what I mean? I can get 5 hours sleep. I can wing it on, I don't know, the crash diet or whatever it might be. And it's like,
I think a lot of us live in our fight and flight these days. Like, our fight and flight system can be activated, even by like seeing something on Instagram that's made us go like, or like dropping our phone or a car slamming on. And, people don't have the tools once that fight and flight system is activated to get out of the fight and flight, to activate the rest and digest system. And obviously that's what we do in yoga with the breathing and meditation, is we start to activate that rest and digest system. So, we're regulating our nervous system, and we're not constantly living in that fight and flight response.
It's interesting that. So this is, my business. Obviously, a lot of clients come to me because they've got a fat loss goal, but we identify very early on that that's actually what is going on. They're just in fight or flight constantly, and like it's it's a necessary function of the body. It's built to save our lives. But if we're constantly in it, it's just that. I think that is when people say they're burnt out or whatever the other expressions are. It's that. It's just constantly being on and then normalising it. Like just accepting, like, do you know what? This is just how it is.
Yeah. And I think nowadays it's I feel like there's all this like hustle culture and like you should be busy 24/7, and if you're not doing this you should be doing that, and it's like the second you get up you should be, you know, doing whatever you do until the evening. But it's like, no, like we need to slow down. Like,
I feel as though we could, this is going to be a dangerously one of those chats that I'm going to be like, right, okay, let's get back on the plan. But so much of what you're saying, I feel like I'm already saying, well, I was working with this client, but exactly that. I work with one lady, and specifically she's in my mind now because she's in a very high demanding job, but she's also got a lovely little family, young children, and honestly her goals from me a good couple of weeks on the run has just been to find space for joy. I don't want you to think it's not related to what you're going to be eating or just find some white space.
Just be present, just
live, just enjoy, go out and have some fun, and create some memories. That is important. That is missing from your week. Why, like, we don't need to, we wait, don't we, until the holiday or till like the weekend or whatever it is to just simply be present and slow down.
One of my like biggest life lessons is obviously my dad was 39 when he passed away, so I'm 32. The closer I get to that age, I'm like, wow, life is so short. Like, you get one chance, like, go and do whatever you want to do. Don't waste it. Don't use your time overthinking. Don't be afraid of, you know, the fear of judgment. Like, if you let go of judgment, if you release, you know, things that no longer serve you, you can say no to things, you know, anything that drains your energy. No, you don't have to do. It's finding what makes you happy and finding what gives you that peace, and, you know, having that time out to yourself. Like, sometimes people see spending time to yourself as like a negative, but, you know, I love spending time on my own.
They say, don't they, if you can be happy in your own company, you're winning.
And it's difficult for people to spend time on their own because, you know, the mind, the thoughts, everything else. But I think it's one of the most powerful things you can do.
It's inspiring listening to you, Beck, because, again, I think from the outside looking in, you can get a perception of someone and not realise that, like, oh, they've actually gone through a lot of struggle. Like, a price is being paid to get to where they are. But we focus so much on our own struggles and challenges, and that's the reason why we aren't where, you know, the next person is. And it's like, no, it's just...
You have to make sacrifices. Like, I've sacrificed, you know, the past couple of years going out with my friends, going dating, going on holidays, because I've wanted to do that inner work. I've wanted to, like, I was on my healing journey. You know, it's like almost like an addiction. Like, once you start noticing the effects of, you know, doing that inner work, you just want to keep going and keep going and going. And to me, it's like a forever journey. You know, it doesn't 100%. Stop. I remember saying to myself, like, you know, I was just absolutely fed up. And I think my friends were out with their fellas and I didn't get an invite because, you know, I was single, and, you know, I could have really done with a night out, and it kind of, like, you know, upset me. And I remember just thinking to myself, like, right, this is it. I'm going to disappear for 6 months. I'm going to go in hard. I'm going to, you know, read loads of books, listen to podcasts, I didn't even have my dog at this point, go for walks, do my yoga, do what I need to do. And then, like, that 6 months just didn't end. I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it.
Any book recommendations? Okay. I know people will be listening to this thinking, what are the books, Beck?
So I'll try and remember off the top of my head, but there's, is it like the 74 Laws of Human Nature?
Oh, I don't know. I've not even heard of that.
That's a really good one.
I love a good book recommendation.
I should have taken pictures, you know. I knew this was come up. What are the ones? The Chimp Paradox.
Maybe when you get home, if you think of any specific,
I will
put them in the show notes.
100%.
Because I'm always recommending audio books, and also I love a good recommendation. I started the Chimp Paradox, but I think I'm more of an audio than a read. But was that a good one?
Amazing, I mean, like, I feel like I read the books at, like, the most perfect time. Like, you know, I needed to. I'll first thing I'll do when I get back. We'll put them in the show notes if anyone's listening. Have a little look below, and we'll put Beck's top 5 really recommendations in. So then, obviously, passion for yoga developed, but then how did that then turn into you becoming this force of a woman on the yoga scene? Well, I didn't even do my yoga teacher training to want to start teaching. I did it more to look after myself. Like, I, you know, was obviously after COVID and between all the lockdowns, whatever, I was going to classes still with this, with El Maki, still is, you know, every time I see her to this day, I'm still like, I'm so grateful for you.
Oh, who is this?
El Maki, she actually used to work in the same bar as me years and years ago, but she's the one who I was doing the online classes with.
This is the friend.
Through COVID.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And throughout the lockdowns and stuff,
Elle.
because she'd just done her training, we were meeting like in a park and she was doing like a one-to-one with me. And then after, you know, the lockdowns, when studios opened again, I'd go to her classes and, you know, she's just like, I'm just forever grateful for her starting me on this journey. And then I was thinking about doing my yoga teacher training, but it was more to understand and develop my practice. So I wanted to, obviously gone from a hospitality and active job to sitting at my sewing machine. I wanted to understand more about the body's benefits and like sitting, you know, at a sewing machine all day and like worried about my posture. And then obviously going from being active to being in a social environment at hospitality to then being at home on my own, like how would that affect me mentally? Like I wanted to so I did my yoga teacher training, not even with the, you know, concept that I was going to go and teach. And then that was like a 3-week intense course.
I was just about to ask that question. What is that process?
So it was in Liverpool and it was 3 weeks. It was like 7 a.m. start to like 5 p.m. and there was 2 Sundays off. And I'd never done anything like this before. And even that, getting over to Liverpool for 7 a.m. for, you know, every day for 3 weeks was like, wow, like I can do this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that to me was proof that I'm capable of so much more than what I thought I was. And it was an amazing course. Again, that just, you know, grew my confidence. There was only 3 of us on the course, so it was really nice and intimate. And yeah, as I thought, as soon as I'd finished, I had such a great experience. I'm just going to start teaching.
Amazing.
So then I started teaching at the studio where I used to go to Elle's classes. And then obviously my passion just grew and grew and grew. You know, there's so many different benefits of yoga. There's like the mental benefit. There's the benefit to the body, you know, if anyone's recovering from injuries, it's just all different reasons. And I think that's why I love it so much, is everyone comes for something different.
Yeah, totally.
So then I've become this crazy
I advocated to a lot of people who are like, I can't do yoga. And I'm like, that's why you need to do yoga.
Yeah. But I'd be rich if everyone gave me £1 for the amount of times I've heard I'm not flexible enough to start yoga. But no one's flexible when they start yoga.
But this is, and I think this is like a gorgeous thing about your Oxton Wellness Centre. It's always such a mix of abilities, isn't it? But there's no comparison. There's no judgment of others. It's just
you're there for yourself.
Yeah,
and that's it.
I was in a class a couple of weeks ago, and there was a guy in there. He was like blowing and panting, and
that's so noisy, aren't they?
And I just thought, do you know what? Good for you. You are in this room full of women, and he was really going for it, you know, like he was, and I thought, you are in here trying to better yourself the same way that we all are, but you are like obviously the only male in the room. And I just thought, you know what, that takes.
I had 2 guys in my class last night and a few are coming tonight as well. Like, it's
love that. I really want to get my husband into.
I
think he would struggle with the slowing down. 100%.
We all do. Like it doesn't come easy. You know, it is a challenge, but the more you do it, the easier it gets, and then the more you know, the more you realise you actually need it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the Wellness Festival.
Okay.
Which is, I feel like we've probably skipped a part of the journey here, because I don't even know how that come about, and I would love to know about this as well. But fill me in.
Okay, so
fill us in what it is for anybody listening who's like, I'm lost here. What she's talking about.
So the Wellness Festival is a free event in Birkenhead Park. It's our 3rd year running it, and it's just a weekend to celebrate health, wellness, community and connection. You know, we want to bring communities together, and we want to showcase the amazing communities that are already doing things for the Wirral. We want to encourage people to move. We've got live classes on our fitness stage throughout the day. We've got expert speakers doing talks. You're going to be doing a talk as well, which I'm so excited for. We have like a full wellness market, you know, with like fresh produce, PTs, chiropractors.
I think that's such a pull for me to see. It's so refreshing to see something. I'm always ranting on my podcast about the lack of healthy options. I'm like, this is a festival, guys, that you can go to and fill up that healthy cup on all levels.
Yeah. I kind of just, I used to do a lot of events with my hair accessories and a lot of like markets and stuff. And
so your hair accessories business is still live?
Yeah, but I don't really give it much.
So what is
at
that?
the
Is
moment?
It, have you got an Instagram page?
Yeah, so it's Lila Boutique.
Lila Boutique.
Yeah.
We'll put that in the show notes as well.
So I'm not too sure what I'm gonna,
do with
that has been a whole journey in itself.
I can imagine.
But it's like, we'll just move on from that. So the festival, I kind of just thought, like, I was talking to my friends and Elle, and so we went to school together, we went to college together, then she went to Australia, I did my seasons in Mallorca, then after COVID, I take my granddad out and we kept on bumping into Ellie in West Kirby, and Ellie literally talks to anyone. She was just always chatting, my granddad's head off. And then we started, seeing each other more, getting close. And she's been through her own journey. I'd been through my own journey. The more we were speaking about it, the more we were like, do you know what? Like, everyone goes through their own journey.
Yeah.
And, when you're at that sort of low point, the last thing you want to do is go on to call this number and speak to this, automated, or go through 5 pages of, this thing online that's telling you what to do. And it's like, if we put something on where, we can showcase these amazing services, community groups, CICs, everything that there is, the world's got so many amazing things. That when people reach that low point, they'll be like, oh, okay, I know I could maybe go to a class here, or I could go and do this free course, or I could go and, just be with people in this community group. Yeah. And it's just, we kind of wanted to create a destination where I was thinking, like, where would I like to go? Like, if I, could go to like a festival, what would I enjoy?
Do you know what I think's amazing though? Is that, like, it's one thing having that thought and thinking, wouldn't that be amazing? But you've actually done it.
Yeah.
You have actually made that happen.
Yeah.
I remember watching last year from Instagram. I can't remember why we couldn't make it last year. I think we might have been away.
It was Father's Day weekend last year.
And the weather was crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah. We learned a lot from last year.
Yeah, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Because I just remember you posting something saying, I'm taking all of this fencing down myself.
Yeah.
We are literally
180 fence panels me and Ellie had to take down the next day. Everyone was walking past us in Birkenhead. We were like, thanks for the help.
But you know what, like on that subject, I'm like, I've spoken to another client about this week. She lives out of the UK and she struggles with loneliness from time to time. She's with her family, but it's not the same. And I said, you've got to get out and find your people.
Yeah.
They're not going to come to you. I know that that's harsh, but that's
true.
Part of what you need to hear. Yeah. Don't think about maybe joining the yoga centre, or like my clients are all part of community. Like we have a group chat and it's buzzing every day because it's finding your people, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
And I think the wellness event sounds like a perfect place to do that. Even if it's just the starting point of, like, again, building awareness of, oh, actually, what are my options? And I think it can remove some of like the intimidation a little bit, because I think if you're at the start of your journey, I can imagine it feels quite overwhelming to think everyone else knows what they're doing. You think all the instructors are like so confident and they're going to be judging you if you're, and it's like, no, it's honestly, I had someone comment to something on social media the other day to me, and she was like, something along the lines of the gym lot. As if the gym lot, I don't know who that is, I imagine people who are fit and healthy and in the industry maybe. And she had an opinion on, and I thought, no, you couldn't be more wrong. I didn't get into it, but I thought you couldn't be more wrong. Like, that's your internal narrative. That's your fear of putting yourself forward. But actually, I'm thinking of a couple of people who like sort of like present at the wellness centre, and they're at the top of the game, but they're the nicest people that you could meet.
It's perception, isn't it? I think perception is huge.
Yeah.
And everyone has a perception over someone or something. And I remember going to my first ever yoga class, and it was an aerial yoga class, and I was driving there, and this was a big thing for me. Like, I'd never done anything like this before. I would always want to be with someone to do it. And it was when I was coming to the end of my time at hospitality, and I was just like, I'm just going to go. And I was driving there, and I just had like this, I feel like I've got a really good like intuition. And I just had a feeling that I was going to be the only person there. And it was a guy instructor.
Oh.
And what happened? I was the only person there.
Oh no.
And it was a
On
guy
an aerial?
instructor, yeah. But luckily the 2 people from the class before stayed.
Oh, happy
he must have
days.
said, he must have been
Help me
feeling the
out.
same as what I was feeling.
Yeah.
But even things like that is just like constant proof that, you can do these things. It's often the inner dialogue that is telling you can't do these things. And
100%.
when I left hospitality and like I've been on my journey or whatever, I used to book like Cheshire Fashion Week, and I used to do it because the thought of walking down a catwalk to me was like the most daunting thing ever. But I knew if I could do this, I could go and sit in a room with buyers, or I could put a festival on, or I could, stand and teach yoga in front of people.
Bold.
And
really bold.
I think I did it. I think I've done it 3 years. And when we get our hair and makeup done, and I'm rubbish at doing hair and makeup, so that's always a treat.
Well, luckily for you, you're just naturally beautiful.
And then, we'd be waiting to go on, and those thoughts would come in. I'd acknowledge those thoughts. I'm not going to do it. What if I fall? But I'd use the breath, the breathing that I've learned through yoga. And, you keep focusing on the breathing. You take a deep breath in and a deep breath out through the nose. And that helps you to let go of those thoughts that are saying, I can't do it, I can. And people didn't even know I was doing the breathing.
Diffuse, 100%. Completely, And it is like a chimp, isn't it? The Chimp Paradox. It's like an alter ego. It's just, have you seen the kids movie Inside Out 2?
No.
Oh, Becky would love it. It is Disney Pixar. So Inside Out 1 is like, it's about a young girl, and it's like her characters are all emotions. So she's got joy, sadness. What's she got? She's got joy, sadness, fear, and disgust.
Yeah.
And then Inside Out 2 is when she reaches her teenage years, and all of these new emotions come on. So one of them's like boredom or something, or sarcasm, but one of them's anxiety. And the film really, and it's so clever the way they've done it, but I related to it so much, is how this emotion, anxiety, comes in, hijacks every other emotion, like almost gets them on board, my way is the best way, and then makes this kid overly anxious. It's a cartoon. My little girl actually cries on one part of it because the kid in the movie's having a panic attack, and then at the end it's understanding that, like, okay, anxiety and joy, but it's you would like that movie.
It does sound good.
But it sounds like the way you've just described, you breathe, and it's almost just like you calm that emotion down instead of allowing it. You know what I was thinking then when I was visualising it, one scene in the movie, this emotion is just, she causes a tornado, and she's just wreaking havoc. And it's like, it's such a good visual. And I was thinking of that then. But you've just got it, we've got to understand, haven't we, how to
regulate.
But no one else can do that for us. Like, we've got to get up and go, right, okay, I need to understand how to, the glass of wine is not the, like that. That's might be suppressive for the moment in time, but it's not the answer.
And those things, unfortunately make the anxiety worse. And, then it's the cycle of, doing it to suppress it all, and then it will come back.
It heightens it, doesn't it, really?
But the breathing, is my number one tool. I use it for so many things, and people don't even know I'm using it. I've used it when I've gone in for big meetings, or when I've done the catwalk, or, when I'm just feeling, slightly nervous, or, when I went down to London. It's just all different things. It's just having those tools to, to use.
Talk to us a little bit about London. This is just another thing that I'm just watching. Okay, so I believe in manifesting. I know it sounds a bit woo, but I also think it's just,
you're putting it out there, aren't you?
Yeah, it's almost like, I say this to women with your fitness goals. It's like, own it. Own what the ambition is, own what the goal is, and live it. Don't just have it in your head and then rock up to the barbecue and follow suit with everyone else. If you want to be the healthy, sober person, own it. Like, turn up and do it. But maybe that's not manifesting, but it's putting it out there, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. You know, I think manifesting to me is you know, you're putting out there what you want, and you start consciously making those, you know, decisions to get you closer to where you want to go. And, you know, that's what I think manifesting is. I don't, you know, believe that it's, you know, you're sitting there and thinking and it's going to happen. But I think it comes from that, because, you know, you're visualising what you want and where you want to go, and then you start to, you know, unconsciously make, you know, decisions to get you there. So yeah, London was good. I was very concerned about the tubes. You know, that's what gave me anxiety about the whole thing in London. The thing I was most concerned about was the tubes.
I used to work corporate, and so London Underground just doesn't. But, I mean, getting confused with what platform you're going to still blows my head off. But yeah, if we ever go down to London, it's really normal, but they are quite intimidating, I suppose.
I put it into ChatGPT. Write me step-by-step guide. Did you?
I love that.
I even managed to get like the earlier trains.
No way. So talk to us about what you've been in London for.
Okay, so I've been filming for a fitness app, which is based in London. We were filming like a 30-day challenge, which goes live sort of, I think, mid-September. So it was just a really amazing opportunity. Again, it was getting myself out of my comfort zone. Like, I feel like I look
aligning your behaviours with like the goal.
I just feel like I look for, or I even create opportunities to get me out of my comfort zone, because I know that's where the growth is going to happen. And it was nice to, you know, step away from the studio and have a break, you know, get away from the Wirral and have that little bit of a different schedule for the week. But it was very intense, but it was amazing. I met, you know, 2 lovely girls, and we had a great time.
And so what's the goal then for you? Like, what do you see sort of like the next step, even for like the Oxton Wellness Centre, or just for you? Like, what's the next level?
Oxton Wellness Centre, I think it's, you know, we've built such an amazing community. You know, my clients are absolutely amazing, the teachers are amazing, and everyone's just so welcoming. So I want to just keep building that for more people to come. You know, there's no certain person, you know, that can't come. It's literally for everyone.
I can vouch
we
for
are
that,
open
100%.
For everyone to come, you know, try it. We just want to encourage having that time for yourself, whether that's, you know, yoga, Pilates, bar, whatever we offer, or the Moon events. It's just literally encouraging people to stop, take a moment, have a bit of time for you. And like, you see people coming in and they just take like this big sigh, like a big, you know, deep breath, and it's just like it's a nice feeling.
It's an atmosphere of calm like you can't even imagine. It's so tranquil, isn't it? Like when you walk in and you're like, it's almost like you whisper to everyone to say hello, because you don't want to disrupt the calm. I'm like, but instantly I'm like, oh, I feel so happy to be here. So I have my kids saying to me, do you have to go, mummy? And I'm like, no, I don't have to, but I really want to. So see you in an hour. I'm going.
To just keep building on that really, and then like personal goals to just keep growing. You know, keep putting myself in uncomfortable situations. Keep, you know, being passionate about what I'm doing, and just encouraging other people to, you know, just spend a bit of time working on yourself. Like, you know, it's just such an amazing thing that, you know, I just want to encourage everyone to just try and go for it, you know.
I've obviously got 2 daughters, and I worry when they grow up, like some role models nowadays are just I think potentially, you know, a bit dangerous. They got too much authority on social media. But then there's women like you who I'm like, no, we need more role models like Beck, who are just inspiring women with no ulterior motive. Like I was saying this earlier, I was like, Beck is one of the most genuine people I've ever met. There's no malice, there's no ulterior motive, there's no other side. It's just she's lovely, and she's ambitious, and she's everything that, like, she's, do you know what I mean?
I feel like I'm very much like stay in your own lane. I think, you know, especially with social media, you can get caught up in what everyone else is doing, but realistically you're just slowing down your progress by doing that. So, you know, as much as, you know, I want everyone to succeed and sort of be happy and chase their dreams. I kind of just like keep myself to myself and just do, you know, just I see my tunnel vision and that's where I sort of go. Only because like I've had, you know, a bad relationship with social media and I've learned from that that, you know, I'm not going to spend any more time looking at what other people are doing. And
it's toxic, isn't it?
Yeah. And, you know, when you understand that, you know, people only put their sort of highlights on social media and, you know, it's not as
100%
like, you know, pretty flowers and rainbows behind closed doors, then, you know, you can be at peace with, you know, not you know, just going on social media for you. Like I post on social media for me. You know, I love it because it's a platform where you can create memories and, you know, look back at memories. And, you know, I feel like I've always like, with my hair accessories, I used to talk on my stories then. So I've done it for a couple of years. I'm comfortable with it. But, you know, I also learned that I'm not going to let, you know, someone's judgment of me stop me from what I'm going to do, because again, that's just slowing down my progress.
It's like a black hole, isn't it? Yeah. Because if you go onto it and you even allow yourself to start comparing, but you're comparing to yourself, so instantly you're putting yourself on the back foot, and it's like, but why would we do that? We've got, I still do it, but I have to catch myself. Like I have rules and boundaries around social media. Won't go on it first thing in the morning, won't go on it of a night, won't take it up the stairs of an evening. Like there's got to be boundaries, because I think they're your more vulnerable times, aren't they? Sort of like, you know, maybe before bed and when you wake up. Okay, I'm going to round this up with my unfiltered. I've not done my unfiltered this week, so I've got into the routine of just chatting about something off topic, whether it's like a pet peeve or just a little anecdote. And it's a bit of a pet peeve, but I'd love to know your insight on this, because I think there's a split opinion on this. Whether you watch the news or you don't watch the news.
No, I don't watch the news.
Okay, so we're alike. I was in the gym this morning, and this always bugs me. But knowing that I was coming into podcast today, I thought, I'm going to talk about this. Why is the news on?
Oh, it's just
I get that it's the real world and we can't be like ignorant to what's going on. But I'm in the gym trying to release some bloody happy hormones, and I am just seeing war and death and bloody food bills going up. And you know, when you're like, put a music channel on. I don't get it. I do not get why they put the news on.
No, I don't watch the news at all. I'd stay away from it all, just because it is so negative, and you don't want to start your day with, you know, again, like you do want to, you know, keep on track on what's happening in the world, but also you have no control over that, like as awful as it is.
I know, Beck, I feel exactly the same way. Sometimes I fear talking about it because I think it just seems ignorant. Oh, you're quite happy in your little bubble, but it's like, but we've got to protect ourselves first.
100%.
Like, what good is it if I deteriorate? Like we've got to protect our own energy. And some people, my husband, can watch the news and then be fine. It plays on my mind. Certain things like just fill me with fear and upset, and it's too much. So it's nice to hear that I'm on my own with that one, because I'm like, boycott the news. Beck, thank you so much for coming in today and taking the time. Let everyone know, when is the Wellness Festival?
So it is the 13th and 14th of September at Birkenhead Park. Tickets are, you can register. Well, we did September because it's usually sunny in September, and it's our like second start to the year. But tickets are available now. You can register for your free ticket online. You can leave the link.
I'll put the link in the show notes.
You'll get some free bits from Applied Nutrition if you register.
Oh, amazing. Good one. And I will be there talking.
At
some point over the weekend.
Can't wait for it.
You can follow Beck. Social medias, Beck?
Becky Jones Yoga, or Oxton Wellness Centre, or Wellness Festivals. But thank you for having me on.
Oh, thank you, Beck. And I'll see you at yoga. Thanks, Beck.